Hickok 45 here with an old classic Smith & Wesson Model 439. 9mm. Still will, it will bowl. And it will smoke. Yeah. Hot dog. Just 8 rounds. But they were pretty well thought of back in the day. Let's take a look at it and I'll tell you a little bit about it and shoot it. I'll make up some lies about it. I think it was carried by Davy Crockett. No, this is kind of the second generation of these guns. The first one was the Model 39. You might have had one. You might own one. You might have designed it. And it went through a couple little changes. I think it actually, I believe it was a result of it was developed for pistol trials for the U.S. military, 1954, as I understand. Then it turns out the military didn't change out. Everybody's thinking, whoa, did we change in 54? And then we stuck with that old 1911. And but it was put on the civilian market shortly after that, 55, I think. And pretty popular, used by various state police agencies, and I know the Illinois State Police, maybe some others, and maybe local agencies. It was a fairly popular gun, the 39. Now I'm talking like it's a different gun. This is pretty much the same thing. It's just the next generation of it. And somewhere, and I think it was around 81 or so, this came out, I believe, the 439. And then, I don't know, a year or two into it, they changed the rear sight. You might have an earlier one that doesn't have that involved sight on it. And this was alloy. I think the later editions of the 39 were alloy. And then this one had an alloy frame and has an alloy frame, the 439. There was a 539, it was a 639, and those were, the biggest difference was stainless steel and all steel or stainless steel. Okay, but this was the alloy frame. Makes it a little bit lighter, and it doesn't feel bad. And I have to confess, I never did really like this series of pistols that much. I never did own one, but I'll bash on it a little bit in a minute. I want to thank Bud's Gun Shop and Range for their support of the channel, long-time supporter of the channel. And then Silencer Central, great company, great people. They do one thing really well. They'll take care of you. And then Sonoran Desert Institute, sdi.edu, great distance learning school. You can get certified in gunsmithing, get on the road, at least to becoming a gunsmith. You can get certified or you can get an actual associate's degree in firearms technology. You can learn a lot about firearms and other things, so check them out. Appreciate the people that support us. And this is it's a low capacity, we would consider by today's standards. You know, a lot of different models grew out of this. The Model 59 that was higher capacity, and all the various stainless models of the 80s, the 90s. And that was a time I was into Glocks and Browning high power and other firearms, and I just never could develop a love for the design. And I think a lot of it was it didn't feel as good in my hand as some other guns. It's not bad, but it was the same thing that the Beretta has, this kind of safety and decocker kind of thing, where when you pick it up and let's say you want to flip the safety off to fire it, yeah, it's a kind of a push-up deal. I know you can get used to it. You can train people, so you're just not trained properly. Well, it's none of that. It's the fact that it's different from every other handgun I've ever handled, basically. So I could train and I could learn myself to do anything, but I may not want to if it is different from other firearms manual of actions, you know. But I never could, I don't know, I think it was especially the ones made, when was it, in the 90s, that were double stack. And when I pick up, and they were stainless, it seemed like all of them, I'd pick up one of those, what a brick, you know, and that weird safety. And I never did own one. I'm sorry. I apologize if I'm bashing your gun. But this is neat. This belongs to a friend of mine. I don't know how long. He hadn't had all that long, I don't think. I fired it up at his place, I know, a month or two ago, I think. and shot it well, and it's a nice shooter, and he really likes it. And he was down shooting the other day and brought it along. Said, you can keep it if you want to, do a video with it or borrow it. I said, yeah, let's do that. And so I did. Now I will have trouble hitting with it because he's been shooting it. And you know, when someone who can't shoot very well has been firing a firearm, I know you think I'm making this up, but it makes that firearm hard to hit with. Once someone picks it up, they can shoot a little bit. It's just been trained in the other direction. Yeah. So that's a truism now. That's not just me making it up. That's not a dad joke. Think about that. Think about the physics of that. There's truth in that line. Let's see if a hollow point will take out a watermelon. Yeah, 9mm. Not bad, huh? Let's see if we can reach out with it. Well, we'll start with the gong, something bigger. Let's try that red plate on the left. I think I hit it one. He was hitting it earlier. It's got a good sight. You can really see the sights clearly. It's got a great sight picture, I'll have to say. And I'll load up those. I was shooting some Underwood there, I believe. 147 grain ammo. Yeah, I'll try some. I don't really like 115 grain 9 that much, but I'll shoot some of that and try that. And I also want to thank Alabama Holster for their support of the channel. Great outfit. I love their holsters and have been using them for a long time. Great little concealment holsters on the belt, inside the waistband, pocket, you name it. Got one or two on me right now. Appreciate their assistance. Yeah, so it's an 8-round. This is back in the 8-round days. This is kind of a vintage firearm. It takes you back into the 70s, you know, in the 80s. The good old days. This one, well, yeah, they are the good old days now, aren't they? Anything before, what, 2010 or 15 were definitely the good old days. And I lost my train of thought. I got carried away there. Sorry about that. It just hit me. But yeah, the 8 rounds and all that before they started the double stack and yeah. But yeah. 8's probably enough. Wasn't there a TV show called that? 8 is enough. So what else about it? It's probably a $500 or $600 gun. They had a pretty good reputation. I think he said he replaced the grips on it with a different model. It was, you know, 39 or something. He bought these grips somewhere. And again, the thing I don't like about it is the hammer and decocker and the way the safety works. So it is a decocker. You know, if you got it, cocked and loaded, you've been shooting it, you can just do that. The hammer drops, and you're in a safe position. Okay, and a lot of advantages to that. And then if you want that long first pull, take the safety off. If there's a mag in it, and you got the double action pull, so it's kind of a double to single. All right. And I'll do that. I'll go double to single. Okay, so you could carry this, and that's one of the advantages for law enforcement or whatever, carrying a loaded firearm. The first pull was a little longer and harder, just like this, except I need one in the chamber first. I'm going to drop the hammer, so they would carry it like this. I don't have a holster for it, but it's hot, but I'm going to take the safety off, and that's going to put it in double action mode. And then after that shot, just like a Beretta 92 or something, it's single action. So good little shooter for 8 shots. Let's go out to the gong again. There we go. Try that red plate. Oh, let's try the pig. He's been giving me the evil eye over there. Well, I heard one of those hit him. He might keep giving me the evil eye if I can't hit him. Let's get something a little more punch to it and shoot it one more time, maybe. Just thought I'd bring this to you. Kind of a neat old gun. Even if it's not my favorite format. It's you know, just a kind of a classic. I actually thought at times I should own a Model 39, and maybe I just overlooked that and needed to have one to shoot sometime, and thought really I would like to bring a 39 to the channel sometime. Just never did kind of happen till now. This is basically the 39, like I say, just the second generation it's considered to be. Alloy frame, steel slide, of course, and old school magazines that hold 8 rounds. And who knows, you might do better carrying 8, because you would, in the back of your mind, know you just have 8 rounds. Nothing to waste, right? So, good old Smith & Wesson. I'll tell you another problem I had. I was into the big revolvers of Smith & Wesson, and when I would see a semi-auto, and it didn't feel right to me anyway, back in the like 70s and early 80s, I just, what's Smith doing making a semi-auto? They're supposed to be making 29s and 27s and Model 19s. I had a little bit of a mental block. Yeah, which is kind of hard when you don't have much mental to begin with. I'm going to try that red, no, I'm going to try that pig. It's Smart Aleck. Smart Aleck. Did I put one in the chamber? Yeah, there you go, Mr. Piggy. Just need a hotter round. Let's try the Buffalo while we're over there. All right, you too, Piggy, or Ram. All right, just need some hot ammo. How about Cowboy Man? I got one mag. All right, yeah. Actually, my buddy who owns this, he's a good shot. I was just joking, but he's left-handed. So what I was saying was pretty much true. He has trained it in the wrong way. See, all the misses you've seen me perform were because he's been shooting it with the wrong hand all this time. It's just not used to being in the hands in a right hand. That's it, yeah. So anyway, the Smith & Wesson 439, if you were not familiar with this, now you're a little bit familiar maybe. Second generation of the Model 39, classic series. And you know, again, later made in stainless and all steel and different configurations. They went double stack. And this is one of the early models. Pretty neat. And by the way, I did look up the serial number, and this had a recall on it. And I don't know if this was ever been sent back in. I followed the instructions and tested the decocker and everything, and didn't see any issues with it. But this particular serial number range did have a recall. If you own one of these and are not aware of that, you might do a little research and find out about that. So 9mm, pretty cool. And I'm just so pleased you came out to experience it with me. Life is good.
Oh yeah, that's better. This is a great gun for defense. Oh hey, didn't see you guys there. While I've got you here, I want to remind you of our friends over at Talon Grips and Ballistol. Talon Grips makes grips, can you believe it, for all different types of firearms. You can get rough texture or more of a rubberized texture. It just sticks right on there. You know, really affordable, really cool option to improve the grip for your handguns or rifles. So please check them out at talongungrips.com. You'll be glad you did. And also Ballistol. Dad has been using Ballistol for many years. It's a cleaner and a lubricant, and it's non-toxic. It works really great, and we're happy to have them on board since it's been a part of our shooting endeavor for a very long time. So go to ballistol.com, talongungrips.com. And also, while you're out there, I'm juggling all these things here. Also, while you're on the internet, please do check out our other social media like Hickok45 on Facebook. There's also Hickok45 on Twitter, The Real Hickok45 on Instagram. There's a John_Hickok45 on Instagram where I do some things. There's Hickok45.com. You can find us also on Gunstreamer. So check out all that stuff and then watch more videos.